Rusty clowning, two dogs on a mission. Television gold, ain't no intermission. Wild antics, pranks got the crowd all wishing. Laughter's currency, big fame, recognition. Rusty in the corner, players wild and whack. Tim in the front, comedy never lack. Studio chaos, keep them all on track. Smash hit moments, all stripping from the mat. Tim and Rusty run the show, ain't no stopping. Every episode, side splitting, jaw dropping. Laughs on tap, steady beat, steady knocking. Fame train rolling, never gonna be flopping. Tim spitting jokes like a pro magician's wand. Rusty bringing back up, both tight like a bond. Audience cracking up from dusk until dawn. Comedy duo, yeah, that's the unbreakable bond. Shenanigans break the fourth wall, candid confessions. Each episode a lesson in laughter professions. From pratfalls to epic rants, never second lessons.
I really don't think, Landon Bradley is intimidating, but I don't think Mike Cobb's afraid of anybody. I don't think JDV knows enough to be afraid of anybody. Oh, they've got Austin Cruz in their corner. And No Limit Pro, I believe, got a surprise. We might want to hit that trick. Whoop that trick. Boy. Folks, we've got a lot of good combatants here tonight. Three young lions here, 4 counting Austin, and then you've got the king of the beast, none other than Mike Cobb. So I don't. Well, in comes JDV. Just out goes JDV. JDV has added some.
JDV and Mike Cobb here. I'm sorry, I had to get a mic that was working.
Anyway, JDV, Mike Cobb entered the ring.
We got to count off. They're counting. We're learning how to count this match. This is educational wrestling.
Why does that mean that?
Have you even asked
Austin
for the
Cruz
bell?
don't count, Mike Cobb's going to kick his tail?
Has he even asked for the bell yet?
No. They've been in and out of the ring. Mike Cobb called for the bell. I rang it. Is that all right? It's all right. Okay, folks, you've got, like I was saying, these young lions here, JDV, Landon Bradley, Never Trust the Weatherby Drew, and Austin Cruz on the outside. For somebody that's not able to wrestle, he's been awfully active tonight.
Who's that?
Austin Cruz. He's got a medical, release.
He's got a medical condition, all right.
And then you've got the King of Beast, none other than Mike Cobb. That's the big man, and just got out of the ring, JDV. Why is he wearing a hat? His hair got wet, or he don't want it to get wet. I don't know. It's his business. But you can read right there on Weatherby's shirt, don't trust him. But you think he can trust Landon Bradley?
Well, Landon Bradley did beat him down a few months ago.
We've seen that happen. Of course, they were on different sides of the ring then. If they don't work together, Mike Cobb and JDV No Limit Pro will take care of business. I just love this attitude that JDV brings.
He's already rang the bell once.
I rang the bell. Mike Cobb told me to ring it. I rang it.
Well, Mike Cobb's not the official referee.
Well, Terrace wasn't going to ring it.
Called elbow lock up in the middle of the ring by JDV, and
look at the hair. Oh, he pulled his hat off. It's on now. Oh, he's got dreads. That's new. Now, you know, in the ring, JDV would do about anything. But, you know, in real life, outside the ring, not that this isn't real life,
This could be interesting.
he's a pretty good guy.
This could be very interesting. We got none of these are fan favorites.
Everybody will break the rules here. Oh! I don't know what he was doing. Mike Cobb liked it, though. He smiled.
JDV thrown outside the ring. And now there goes the boot from Austin Cruz. Landy Bradley getting a cheap shot in there.
Tim Miner, this night did not start out like I think most people knows if they listen to our live stream. Have to thank their minutes, so I won't say radio show. You'll yell at me.
If they listen to our live stream, they got a whole different card.
That's what I'm saying. But this has been a wonderful card. I don't know what you wouldn't have wanted.
Well,
Colton and Nate, they just put on a show. And these guys are.
We had several call-outs. We had some people sick, people injured, and people.
And one of them is, got a doctor. A couple of them got a doctor's notes.
And we've ended up taking what we have. We have a crew of
We've
wrestlers.
got it, yeah. Well, who wouldn't want these three young guys right here? I mean, really. Any one of these three is a show in themselves. And then you throw in Mike Cobb. I mean, Landon and JDV can do all this flying stuff. It's like Drew's got, it's like he's used to this because he's wrestled with LBK so much.
Austin Cruz in posing for the camera, flexing his muscles.
He should have posed this way with the
I
camera.
don't think he's going to look good as a transgender. Oh, that's not.
That's from David Matthews.
Oh.
He's already trans something.
He's got a kid, so he's transparent.
I don't know, but I've come to appreciate his in-ring actions.
I just love the way he pranced across the ring.
He usually sort of runs his hands
I
down
started giving those belly shots, and I was shaking because I was.
Well, it's sort of like a jellyfish.
And Luke calls me.
Oh! Never get shot by Weatherby. That was TJ style. Bell in the back. Austin Cruz looked in, said something. Landon pushed him off the ropes. Cruz stuck his face right in JDV's and said something ugly about something. Tag. Another thudding chop. Drew hurt his hand on that one.
Did we agree to go get grease away this time? The grease?
Oh, drop kick by JDV. Just that vicious. And some of these girls out here think just that vivacious, but I'm not going there. Throws him to the big man. Waiting for a tag. Oh, now he'll tag.
He just knocked his brains out.
Now he'll tag. He wanted to make sure that Landon didn't fly away from Mike. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he got a rolling thunder and a drop kick all in one.
That was a 10. A double team 10. Now you got the ring veteran, the ring general. The mayor of the square circle.
Oh, he's going to scratch his back. I like to have my back scratched some, but not like that.
I don't.
That would probably feel better if David Matthews was scratching his back.
No. I was going to say, when you were up in the corner, it's like a jellyfish just started engulfing you. It just came around, the stomach came around and started going around your back. What's Drew doing? Oh, look, now he's got a face claw.
He's screaming like a little girl.
There you go. Here we go. Oh!
Almost stood him on his head. And here comes Weatherby in.
So
Dancing. He's just dancing with Austin.
Mike just counted to one to him.
Oh!
Wow, Inseguri. Off the floor, Inseguri.
He ran right into that.
Well, you know,
He ran right into that foot.
Mike Cobb probably taught most of these guys how to do that kind of stuff. What's he going to do? There's
He's gonna
no
make a
need to do
wish.
that. Austin said, go ahead. Oh! That'll slow a quick man down. Look at that face. Look at that face.
I think Austin saw it and didn't say anything about it.
All right, his mother go ahead and give him out. Go ask your mama if you can. Ask your mama if it's all right. Sorry, folks. Some kid was bothering me about a cupcake.
He was calling you a cupcake.
Sorry, I apologize to everyone for that. There is part of me that, really can't stand kids. Oh!
Mike Cobb can't stand that kid right there. Double slap to Landon Bradley.
Oh, he's taking some big hits here. I just love this attitude of JDV. You know what? Weight-wise, JDV is not a big guy, but he is tall and lanky and very fit.
Athletic.
Very athletic, yeah. Well, it's probably what Mike Cobb looked like when he was in his late teens.
A couple weeks ago.
Well, Mike's still fit. He's just bigger, put on weight. There's a difference between 240 pounds of muscle and 170 pounds of muscle.
Reversal. Oh.
You need to get a tag. Do this, Bulldog. Now, tag. Get up and tag. Landon Bradley, why don't you listen to me? Oh, here we go. We're going to actually count. You don't think that was JDV under that mask that Colton Chris was wearing, do you? Got to figure out who that is. Tag and a tag.
A tag on Cobb.
Two big men.
Man in the ring.
Oh, they're bumping shoulders. The two big men. Drew must have thought he was TJ Weatherby there for a moment. Not quite that big. Oh!
In the middle of it.
Whoa! He's not the legal man. Come on. Oh! Landon did it! He repaid the favor. And another one. That's 10. And I'll give JDV that 10 for that running the ring fist.
Landon Bradley with two super kicks right there that lit both of those guys up.
Yeah. He didn't kick him hard enough.
Oh, big clothesline there by Mike Cobb. Landon Bradley getting his head stepped on in the corner.
Tim Miner, do you know who the legal man men are? I don't think.
Weatherby and Cobb, I think.
You probably need to tell Austin that. Yeah, because Landon ran in. JDV ran in. That's it. Like I was saying, folks, whoa, out goes Mike Cobb. He went over, he's going to, oh, wow. A jawjacker there. Uh-oh. That's cranium buster. Double knee cranium buster, Landon Bradley. JDV's out.
Oh, what a move by Mike Cobb.
Whoa, is that a brain buster? DDT, a twirling brain DDT buster? Whoa, that was a muscle buster, wasn't it?
That was more like a painkiller we used to know of.
Yeah, painkiller, that's a 10.
There's our 3 count. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match by pinfall.
What a match!
Weatherby.
What a match! There's Larry Cooter. And Nate Starr. We've got us a fight now. Probably the most loved man here, LBK. And who better to show you a little love than Larry Cooter? Oh. Cooter asking for the mic. Tim Miner threw a microphone.
Hey, Matt. Hey, hold on. You know, after last night and that double count out, how about next Friday night at PWA? Me and you, ladder match for that Southern Heavyweight Championship. What do you say, Matt? What's that? Okay. You heard it, folks. Friday night at PWA. Me and Matt Starr, that Southern Heavyweight Championship, hung above the ring in a ladder match.
Welcome to the Tim and Rusty Show right here on Facebook Live. This is Rusty the Ref being joined by the voice of all professional wrestling and all
just
sports.
RWF wrestling. I'm the voice of RWF.
Any wrestling you're at, you're the voice.
I
the
don't do
voice.
announcing at every show I go to.
That doesn't matter. You're still the voice. Let me throw these accolades on you. Anyway, just in case you're wondering, it is March Madness. You see my Tennessee right there. But I didn't pick Tennessee to win. I got reprimanded today by some of my Tennessee friends. Andrew was one of them. And Todd was another.
I didn't pick Tennessee to win it.
Well, yeah, because they're not going to win
I
it.
picked Duke to win it all. And I hate Duke. I'm a North Carolina Tar Heel fan.
If I remember correctly, I got Tennessee going to the Elite Eight, but
I've got Tennessee going to the Final Four and losing to Duke.
I think I just made them to the 8. But anyway, I've got Duke and
I've got Auburn playing Florida in the Final Four.
Maybe I did take them to the
So
4
I picked Florida to win that game.
because I think I had Duke beating Tennessee.
So I have Florida going against Duke in the national championship.
That's
and
what
I hate
have.
both those teams.
That's what I
Actually,
have,
Corey
particularly.
Brewer used to play for Florida. Corey Brewer from Portland, Tennessee. Corey won national championships when he played at Florida. Went to NBA, won an NBA title against LeBron. He won the NBA title before LeBron won a title against LeBron.
When I was
When the Mavericks beat the Cavaliers.
working at Dillard's and Men's Big and Tall, Corey Brewer was shopped with me when he was in town.
But his
Yeah.
mom and dad used to shop at the grocery store that I was a store manager of in Portland.
And he is tall. He's got to be
yeah.
6'9" or better. You know, it just looked like he could reach
Probably
up and
one of
touch
the
the
most-
ceiling. I started to ask him to.
I've seen this kid go from underneath the basket, out blocking a 3-point shot just like that because he's so long and lanky.
And he's not really big like a LeBron. It's just, but he can play. So anyway, I got Duke beating Florida at the end. So
I've missed 2 games so far today. I missed Louisville. Louisville got beat by Creighton, who now goes on and plays Auburn in the next round. Auburn better watch out.
well, if they, because I thought for sure Louisville was going to win that too.
And then I picked Clemson over McNeese State, and nobody saw that one coming. McNeese State got the upset win. And Clemson, I have them going out to the Elite Eight and losing to Tennessee. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So Tennessee's path may be a whole lot easier now.
Could be. Well, they're a number 2 seed.
As long as they can continue to win. They were winning by 16 last time I saw them.
But boy, Florida had their number in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, Tennessee didn't match up very well against Florida. They lost twice to them this year by double digits. They did beat them by 20-something points at home.
Yeah.
But I do have, like I said, I have 3 SEC teams in the Final Four along with Duke. But, hey, North Carolina Tar Heels were pretty much the last team to make the tournament. And they had to do a play-in game last night or 2 nights ago. Scored 95 points against San Diego State, who was the number 1 defense in the nation against points scored. And they scored 95 against them. And North Carolina, everybody was saying how they shouldn't have made the tournament or whatever. I guess they proved that they should be there in that first game. We'll see now. They play Ole Miss tomorrow. If they could get on a run, this could be a team that shouldn't even made the tournament, was supposedly the last team in, and they did a play-in game. What if they go on a run like they did a couple of years ago and made it all the way to the national championship like they did that year?
Well, Charles Barkley's picking North Carolina.
Really? Oh, boy. He always misses.
Sure,
So
pretty sure that's what I heard him say today. And he's running through his different scenarios and brackets they were. And, of course, they bothered him about it.
But we have like 12 people in our bracket. We're either going to do a T-shirt or might even do a ring. I'm trying to find a NCAA basketball championship ring that we could use for the winner. So, possibility to win you another ring, Rusty.
Well, that'd be all right.
But you're losing right now.
Probably not going to.
I didn't watch as much college basketball as I usually do this year, so I've had to do some studying.
It is, for me, it's difficult because, I much prefer football, and there's not so many teams to keep up with. And so and the ones I do keep up with are usually SEC teams and usually who Tennessee plays and stuff. And it's just hard.
Back to the wrestling match you just saw.
Oh, wait, can I say one more thing? There's 2 states that's got 5 teams in it, Texas and Tennessee. It's UT. It is Belmont. It is No, not Clemson. Lipscomb. Yeah, that and UT and Vanderbilt. Is that 5?
Memphis.
Memphis. Okay, I thought that was really cool too. And a lot of 4 of those. Anyway, enough said about that.
But back to the match that we were just watching. That was RWF action from March the 15th, this past Saturday night. What a show. Even with people missing, people quitting. Well, we ain't going to go there.
Horrible weather.
Bad weather.
Horrible weather.
And yet RWF shines again.
Well, just thank you for putting that together. You could not have asked for anything more than those 3 young warriors there, Drew and Landon and JDV. What can't they do?
Drew Weatherby pulling out. We used to know as the painkiller, Damian Payne, who John Wayne Murdoch now, used to do the painkiller, and he used to do it a lot on
anybody he wrestled.
Well, but he did a lot on
Anthony Wayne.
No, on Matt
Starr?
No, Matt Corbin.
Oh yeah. They had some.
Him and Matt Corbin had a few, but he would put that move on Matt Corbin, a lot. But we saw Drew Weatherby pull it out there,
and he's a big guy. That's
not usually a big guy move. And then you throw in Mike Cobb, the veteran. He's not an old man by any means, but he is the veteran there, and he could do anything these young guys can do and more.
JDV had a beautiful drop kick during that match. He took Landon Bradley off his feet in an instant with that drop kick.
I just love his attitude or his bad attitude, whatever it is that the JDV brings to the ring. It just Landon's pretty much got that going for him right now too. But yeah, what a night! What a night!
And then you saw footage of Larry Cooter coming out after. We didn't show that match. I'm going to show that match probably next week during the live stream. But it was LBK against Matt Starr, and LBK got Matt Starr got the victory over.
Oh yeah,
LBK.
that was a different match altogether.
Yeah,
sitting here trying to think, well, how did that happen?
But and after the match, they decided they was going to beat down LBK a little bit more. Well, here comes Larry Cooter and Nate Starr out to help, and of course Larry Cooter.
Save
yeah. So Larry Cooter gets a chair, sets it across the throat of Matt Starr, and sits in it, and pretty much. You know more about the PWA because I haven't been to the show in a couple weeks. But he got Matt Starr to agree to a ladder match that's going to take place tomorrow night in PWA.
So Lucky P Larson Esquire, he got up this fantastic contract for that Larry Cooter, who lost the Southern title, PWA Southern title, to Matt Starr. 2 or 3 months ago. Anyway, he had to have 5 wins in a row in order to get a shot at that title. In the meantime, Matt Starr had passed the title on to Landon Bradley, so everyone thought. But anyway, Cruz beat Matt Starr. That was January the 3rd. Cooter did. Then he beat Cruz on the 17th, Austin Cruz. He beat Dyron Flynn, the man with a book. He is very talented.
He's going to be there tomorrow night.
Oh, good. He's an author. He is an actor, and he is definitely a wrestler. I think a stuntman too. Anyway, he beat Bruiser Bob. Anybody beats Bruiser Bob, that's a feat. He's like a carry awful. He's just, you never know what he's going to do. And then that was on the 31st. Then February 7th, he beat Casey Owens. That is Cooter did, and then Cooter beat Gaston LaRue. And then he got his match against Landon Bradley, and he won that, but he didn't get the belt because Lucky P outsmarted him. And then last Friday night, he got his PWA, Gladeville, Tennessee, in Lebanon.
I see Rico's watching tonight. Rico invited him to come on the show tonight, and he had some kind of excuse.
Had to get his hair done or something, his nails painted, and that type of stuff. Anyway, so last Friday night, Matt got his match, but in the meantime, won't go into all that, but there was a beat down on him, and they beat him down in the back, and then they brought him out for his match, and his hands were zip tied behind him. So Matt pretty much had his way, anything he wanted to do to Larry Cooter. But then Larry got out of those zip ties and he got awake, shook the cobwebs out, and he did dastardly deeds to all 4 of those guys, to Landon and Cruz and Lucky, and even did to Matt. Of course, once again, he ended up laying face down in the middle of the ring. They got the best of it. It's hard to beat 4 men. And then once again, Larry, he even hit him with his bell on that rope. How dare I even begin to tell you how to wrestle? But you knew there were going to be 4 or 5 guys out there in the corner. At the very least 3. Is there not anybody that would come out with you? Nobody that come and stand in your corner? I just don't understand that. But then there again, I give you a 10 because you went through all that. You're still standing, you're challenging. And if we could get a one-on-one with Matt Starr, that would be outstanding. I don't know if you could find a better match than that anywhere. Not leastwise, not this Friday night. We might need to carry that on, just thinking out loud in our May show, and May the 19th. There will not be an RWF.
May the 17th.
May 17th, I'm sorry. There will not be the April 19th show with RWF this coming month due to various things. But our next show will be May the 17th. And we appreciate all of you being there.
Well, here's what we
Of course, Matt will
the
be there,
third
Larry will
the
be there.
third week of April. Number one, it is
Easter.
it's Easter weekend. Well, let's start off with first things. First things first. It's 420 weekend. I'm just kidding.
What's 420? You told me before, but I can't ever remember.
That's the weed day.
Oh,
But no, it would be 450 or 4. What date would it have been?
417.
Are you sure?
No, that's when our show is.
No, our next show is not. It's
I mean, May 17.
5/17.
517. 419, 517. Okay. It's a weed day. And
Oh,
it's what else?
Hold on a second.
Weed
I'm
week.
Trying to find my calendar.
Well, that isn't the weed should not matter to.
No, I'm trying to find my calendar for other stuff. I need to see something.
I mean, there may be some fans that, but I don't believe, we wouldn't allow any of our wrestlers to do that. Particularly, you can't be under the influence while you're wrestling because you might damage someone or get hurt. Should I talk about something?
Yeah, just talk. Why can I not find my stuff here?
Well, sometimes Tim Miner can't find his stuff. So maybe you should get your assistant Luke to come over, who is a whiz on anything technical, technology,
He
on
would only
computer
take
type
Wiz on
things.
my technical stuff.
Anyway, so that's true. You can never get him to do his technical stuff, but
I have. All right.
so
I'm aggravated
also
now.
at PWA last Friday night, you had LBK and Drew Weatherby took on Gaston LaRue, and Saturn Price. Saturn Price. He's a big old.
Okay, let's go back to what I was going to say now. Okay, we would have had a show on 4/19, but like I said, it was 4/20 weekend. Blackthorn's going to be out of town, so I was going to have to run everything by myself, get in the ring
And we
there.
need to clean bathrooms.
Yeah, I had to have clean bathrooms. I'm not cleaning the bathrooms. Thorne, that's his job. It's also Easter weekend, so we figured we might lose some fans due to that. But it's also WrestleMania.
traveling
It's
for
also
that.
WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania will be that night, and Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
So I believe some people would have been watching WrestleMania. So we thought it was in our best interest as a company to not run a show on that night. And-
Well, despite all the rhetoric, we need Blackthorn and you at every show. If either one of you are missing, it's not good. We could do
That
the
is
show, but
Easter
it's
week.
not the same. It's part of our family. We just need it together.
that is Easter weekend, isn't it?
Yes, I don't know. I thought it was. Now,
Everybody's going to celebrate
now
Easter
that
on the
you
wrong
asked
day
me.
because I told them it was Easter weekend.
now, how many hits did we get on that match you posted?
No.
1,000?
Larry Cooter, PWA posted it. I shared it on my page, but it's gotten over 1,000 views.
But that at our show, he posted that.
Yeah, he posted from what we had for our show as an advertisement for their show.
Oh,
Which that means that shows that we can cross promote because we work along with PWA.
we have no problems with PWA.
Now there might be some other promotions we wouldn't cross over with because
You can't trust them.
we can't trust them, and then
But we can most definitely trust the Stars and the Cruises and the Cooters, and we have no
Easter is April.
LBKs. That most of these,
Wow.
all these guys wrestle for both promotions, so get along very well, and it's good.
Easter is on 4/20 this year. What a day that's going to be! They're going to somebody's going to get raised up.
You won't, since the eggs are very expensive now. Maybe you could catch the bunnies. They'll be going slow. They'll be all mellowed out from all that edibles they've been eating. Oh, let's get a bunny.
But anyway, so Easter is on 4/20. 4/20 is on 4/20, and WrestleMania is on 4/20.
And for those
4/19 and 4/20. There's 2 nights of WrestleMania now.
people, just really seriously, don't worry about you may not want to load up on eggs right now, but just wait.
They're not $10 a dozen.
Well, they're about, if they're not on sale, they're about $4 or $5, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're not $10 a dozen.
not
We got
here.
them for $4.99 a dozen
Yeah.
at Publix, and we are the highest priced grocery store in town.
That's true.
They have to pay me. So we have to.
Well, they got good quality stuff too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
always can. But yeah, but just wait a few more months. Remember that they had some kind of chicken flu. They killed out a bunch of chickens, which laid the eggs, and so there's a lot of reasons in that. That's part of the reason. And just give it a little time. It'll be back down. You'll be able to get your eggs for 69 cents a
Well, let's
dozen or
just
whatever.
say
Yeah.
my stock's still doing fine. Public stock.
Well, basically everybody's is. Oh,
I'm-
no matter what you think politically, don't go firebomb somebody's car. Don't.
Well, let's just say
You will go to jail for that, and you'll have to pay for $100,000 car.
this time next week,
Sorry, I'm through with that. Go ahead.
my stock and 401k.
Do you want to tell everybody this?
Oh, I'm just going to say. I'm just
You're
going to
not
say
just telling me.
it will surpass the 6-digit number.
Wow. 6 digits. 6. Is that point zero
No,
zero?
there's no
That's
point.
two
No
of them.
point. No points in
That's two
there.
of them.
No points in there. But
You just have to work 10 more years to get it.
well, I could walk out tomorrow and get it all. but I'm not going to do that because I'd be taxed on it.
Well,
But it has been a blessing to work for Publix, even though our eggs may be higher priced.
well, not really. They're about. I think they were nearly $4 at Kroger, and I was surprised Aldi's had them for $5.97, and Aldi's usually beats everybody.
Well,
they were cheaper almost everything else, but I just thought,
of course, our stock does really well. Our stock is private stock, so if it were to split again like it did before and get back up to the prices now, I would be a millionaire when I retire.
so when you're
in
not shopping at Publix,
6 years.
be sure and go.
So make sure to shop at Publix to make me a millionaire.
When you're not, be sure and go to Gallatin Aldi's, where my grandson Jacob Salyer is the assistant manager. He's got some of the same thing going. It'll be good for him. Anyway,
That's a good thing about Publix. It's an ESOP company, or it's privately owned by the employees. It's employee owned. So you can't buy stock if you don't work at Publix. You have to work at Publix. Now you can quit Publix and keep your stock in there and keep it going. But you have to at least be employed by Publix at some time to get the stock. Now, if you were employed by Publix, you got stock, you quit, and you cash your stock out, then you can't go back in and buy stock. But if you've got stock continuously with Publix, it keeps on building for you. You keep on investing and purchasing.
well, I would say what my 401k type stuff that I did the last 15 years I worked for Dillard's. It's very good. They were very good to me. I just wished I would have invested more. If I'd have known how the paybacks is going to get,
Yeah.
I'd have put all I could. But I was able to retire, and I never thought I'd ever be able to. So it's young guys and girls. Go ahead and sacrifice when you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s. Put that little extra in because it'll pay off when it's time.
Back to wrestling. Larry Cooter has got Matt. I almost called him Matt Corbin. Matt Starr to agree to a ladder match tomorrow night in Gladeville, Tennessee, right down the road here.
I've got a question.
So
Does he not know that Matt Starr is legendary in
for
ladder matches?
common ladders.
I mean, does
Is
he
Larry
not know?
Cooter known for common ladders?
I've not. Now he may, because Cooter has done anything and can do anything. He's going to hit me up on this because I'm going to say something a little derogatory. But who do you think can get up a ladder faster, Matt Starr or Larry Cooter?
Well, it depends on who the snake is after. If you got
Well, the
if
snake
Charlotte Hickory has a snake out, I bet there's some big guys.
Both of them be on top of
Well,
that ladder.
Let me tell you. Let's go back to our show this past Saturday night.
Anyway,
Xavier
it's
Michaels took on Jason Xavier. They wasn't scheduled to wrestle each other. It was supposed to was going to have Jason Xavier taking on Landon Bradley, but these guys came out.
Excuse me, Mama.
And Jason Xavier was supposed to take on Austin Cruz, but Austin Cruz was out due to a injury.
Got a doctor's note.
And so Jason Xavier, or Xavier Michaels comes out and like, hey, wait a second, why would he even deserve a title shot before me? I get a return match, don't I?
That's true.
And so, and they decided, well, hey, what? And then Austin Cruz actually came up with a great idea. Austin Cruz said, hey, why don't you two guys wrestle each other, and the winner becomes the number one contender for my title. So they agreed to it. So we had Xavier Michaels take on Jason Xavier.
You've got two, once again, guys, veterans, not old veterans, but veterans that can do anything in that ring. And it was nothing but action.
And Jason Xavier did get the win to become the number one contender for the United States title. And he'll get that shot in May against Austin Cruz, as long as Austin Cruz didn't come up with some kind of silly shenanigan or whatnot, doctor's excuse.
He is an offshoot of Desperado, so he back.
Um,
and there was very, 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 very little foul play in that.
Well, at the end of the match, there was foul play as the the feelings guys.
Friends over feelings.
Future
over feelings.
They come out and they
sure.
decide they're going to attack both these guys. Well, both these guys fought back.
Did they realize who they were attacking?
So they might have made a tag team for the future. They call themselves the X-Men if they want to. You got Xavier Michaels and Jason Xavier, the X-Men.
And they parted friends, and Xavier Michaels, he said,
and actually, Jason Xavier made a comment here that Austin Cruz came up with another excuse. So we could actually throw, you can also put Austin Cruz, he's an X-Man too. He's got excuses for.
Well, that'd make a good tag team too if you put either one of those X's with Cruz, but I prefer the X-Men together.
So Xavier Michaels wants to get his hands on Landon Bradley.
Xavier Michaels and Jason Xavier against Mike Cobb and JDV, or against Drew and Landon. Either one, or let's have a three-way dance. I guess it'd be 6 men three-way.
So right now, my plan,
that'd be great.
My plan for matches
I'm just
May,
throwing it out there.
My plan for matches is Jason Xavier to take on Austin Cruz for the United States title, and Xavier Michaels to take on Landon Bradley in a singles match.
I love that.
We also had Blackthorn take on Sky Black, and Blackthorn actually outsmarted these guys, and that's not really, it's something we usually say because Blackthorn usually doesn't outsmart anybody. But
he doesn't have to. He beats them down, puts a claymore. He didn't do that claymore on Sky Black. He threatened. Didn't have to.
He ended up. What did they have in their hand? Was it a chair that they had in their hand? A crutch. Yeah, he took the crutch and handed it to Sky Black, and they disqualified Sky Black.
He ducked and hit the mat like he did outsmart. Well, once again, Thorne, don't take offense because I'm your fan.
But he always says you're not smart.
No, I never say that. But I like Sky Black. He is, for a big man, he's like Austin Cruz. He's so agile, and he could put on a show. You guys work well together. I'd like to see that again, and probably go.
Blackthorn got to win by disqualification. Then we had David Matthews and Kenny South taking on Kid Scorpion. It was supposed to have been Adam Maddox. Adam Maddox obviously was attacked before he got to the building and was at Sumner Regional Memorial Hospital.
Which is in Gallatin.
David Matthews and Kenny South was there to take on Kid Scorpion, and Kid Scorpion had no partner. So Kid Scorpion said, well, I'll still take on you. I'm not, I'll take you on you both. So they started the tag match.
And that is Scorpion.
Scorpion held his own for a while, but then it got to where he couldn't tag anybody to get.
And then somebody decided, fortunately, Rico wasn't there to go in and give his brand of justice, because I'm sure it would have been bad. But Tim Miner went in to give his brand of justice. And what did you do?
I tagged Kid Scorpion and got in there and started throwing some shoulder blocks. Actually, the first thing I did was almost fall on my face because I almost fell. And Luke let me know that 100,000 times. You
I-
failed.
I was worried about you when you tripped on the
I was
rope
worried
or
about me
whatever.
too. I mean, there were two
I
big
thought,
guys. I'm
oh,
sitting
no.
there.
If you get in here and you
I
fall right in
was-
front of
I
David
started
Matthews,
throwing some
and
shoulder
he
blocks into the chest of David Matthews. He
he
was kind of
pancaked
falling
you?
back. I did some stomach punches, but I don't know if they had any effect on him. But they kind of shook me.
Well, when you got up close to him, it's just sort of like a jellyfish or something. He just engulfed you.
And then I turned around and there's Kenny South. I'm like, so I started just wearing out Kenny South, gave him a few chops and a few hits, backed him in, and then shot him across the ring
Old
into
Ken the Bruiser, yeah.
threw him into David Matthews. And then I got Scorpion over and said, hey, let's do the train wreck here.
And it
So we
was.
shot them into each other, and we both got the pinfalls, double pinfall, 1, 2, 3. So Kid Scorpion got a victory because of me.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. First of all, which Mr. Justice Rico, he says that you only put these small men up against big men, and that's true. You put him up against David Matthews, 70, 80-pound Scorpion. We'll say that, and he's going up against, we'll say, a 300-pound David Matthews. Big Ken South helped him, even though he got a pinfall to the 300-plus man. Then next week you put him up against Kenny South, another three.
Oh, I thought you was
300
going.
man.
I thought you was going to go a different direction there. I thought you were going to say, "Oh, well, you helped him win, but what happened after you helped
Yeah,
him win?"
we're getting there.
Oh, well, you
and then you
don't beat around the bush.
and
Go
then
ahead, and
you
tell
put
us.
him up against both of those guys. Here's what you get: 180 pounds of fit going up. I said FIT against what over 600 pounds on the other side, and they're both pretty mean guys. But when Kenny South becomes Ken the Bruiser, I don't know if there's any meter. And then you go in and tag. And you help him get the 1, 2, 3, but then you walk off and leave it, and you and Austin Cruz let him get beat. I mean,
Dude,
Austin.
I
Harris,
did not walk off and leave him. I rolled.
Harris.
I slid out of the ring, blown up. I was out of breath
And-
from what I just did in the ring. I went over to get the microphone, tried to announce the winners, but I couldn't catch my breath because I was so blown up.
You will see the video probably next week. You said,
Oh, we ain't showing that video. No.
we're not,
We
well, I
are.
don't know, but anyway, you'll see. I was really rough on Austin Harris. He was really, and I apologize, I was too rough on you, but he really bothered me. First, you're standing there letting your tag team partner get beat the living daylights out of it, and you're not stopping, you're not finding, you're not suspending, you're not bringing anybody out of the back. And all Austin Harris keeps doing is ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. And it's like, forget me ringing the bell. Get those guys out of there. Get him some help. You are the referee. You suspend them. You fine them. You ban them from the building. Whatever you need to do. You just let poor old Scorpion, who has been my friend for 30 years, and your
Foe.
friend.
It hasn't been my friend. We've been foes.
Well, you've been a
So,
acquaintance for 30
You have to
years.
believe
and
that.
you
You
let
have
him
to
get
believe there's
beat.
some goodness in that right there because I came out and helped him. Right?
I'm not
You
sure.
didn't, as a friend, you didn't go help him.
No, I'm smarter to get in the room with Kenny. And did you see, speaking of which, did you see Austin? You think he'd even be more ready to get on to David Matthews because at the beginning of the match when he's checking them for oil or weapons or whatever, checking their pads out. And anyway, Kenny South just grabbed his head and pushed him down, and David Matthews.
That wasn't on
Get
the
ready.
video.
This might be R-rated, or at least X. I mean, some kept PG. It's not X, but PG. He goes over behind him and it appears to violate it. It's just like, and guys, he's like he should have disqualified him for that.
Oh well. But
And it was
anyways,
hilarious.
but now I
but
want
still.
to get to that one match and talk because this is set after they came in and used chairs and beat down
That you
Kid
didn't
Scorpion.
stop.
I have decided to give them a tables, ladders, and chairs match in May.
You
No, Kid Scorpion and Adam Maddox, guys that can climb the ladder, against two guys that probably can't climb a ladder,
can probably,
but they don't have to
can,
climb the ladder. There's not going to be anything to get. They're just ladders you can use for weapons.
which Kid
but-
Scorpion in his
But now,
past has been
I
the
heard
king
David
of that.
Matthews say, "I ain't climbing no ladder. I don't climb no ladders." As he pranced across the ring.
That is so cool. I've really come to appreciate David Matthews. It's hard when he was to appreciate him when he's wrestling women, you know. Even though the woman he wrestled can beat most men. Destiny Rose.
Frank Griffin in the house tonight.
Hey,
watching. Good to see
our
Frank.
buddy Loose Cannon.
Overdrive Wrestling. Be nice to have an Overdrive show again.
It'd be nice.
But there's no place in Nashville really to have one, I don't think, anymore.
We could do it.
We used to have it at
we
the
could do
fairgrounds.
it at the American. I mean, the National Guard Armory. We'll get 1,000 people in that building. If Cannon will do it.
But anyways, but David Matthews says he's not. I don't climb ladders. But
Remember,
but I guarantee you now, if Sean Hoodrich had his snake out there, I bet he would climb a ladder.
or I don't know, he might eat that snake. He knows, looks like he can chomp down.
I happened to see Sean Hoodrich had a post on Facebook, a video where his snake was out in the yard, and his neighbor
killed it.
No, his neighbor had a DoorDash person come, and they started to come up into the yard, and he's like, "Oh, you don't want to go that way." And she sees the snake. This woman goes down the street. She's like,
is that on Facebook?
Yeah, she's getting as far as she can from the snake.
You remember when Loose Cannon, he had a series
Oh,
of
Mark
matches?
Mangrum in the house. You know who Mark Mangrum is, don't you?
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's Magnum.
Well, no.
not?
It's the other one. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is Max Magnum.
Yeah.
I was thinking Chris. There's Chris Havoc's Max Magnum.
Yeah. Of course I know who he is. But
We need Max Magnum to make it. Max Magnum and Chris Havoc was a great tag team, or a duo.
he was so similar to Matt Corbin in his style and delivery. That was Magnum. And we saw them wrestle. It was great. Wrestle each other. But do you remember what Cannon wrestling against Farron Fox? He had several matches with him. So maybe we need to bring him in for David Matthews.
Who?
Loose Cannon, Frank Griffin. It's time he came out of retirement. He's not old enough to retire. You can still do it, Cannon. You can even punch me and knock me out. Just don't do it as hard as you used to. Okay.
Well, RWF is where people come to retire. How many retirement matches have we had?
He didn't have the privilege of having a real retirement.
We've had Kevin the Thug Jones retire. We had Boogie Woogie Boy.
In a way, we had Sandra Smith Lawrence, except we lost our building for a couple of months.
We had
he came there to retire.
Desperados, but did we have his match? It didn't get recorded.
He's been back in the ring again. I've got it. I'm working on him, trying to get him to come back and do this one more and let us record it. He can pick who he wants to. I think it ought to be Matt Starr or Nate Starr or both of them.
Now, this next match we had was Chris Hensley. First time I've seen him in action.
I like Chris Hensley.
He come in and take on Larry Cooter. Larry Cooter got the win by pinfall. We are going to have Chris Hensley back on May the 19th. Or 17th, May 17th.
If you're not familiar with him, I will be posting his match from PWA last Friday night, probably tomorrow. You will enjoy him. He comes in working the crowd with the energy of a Carrie Awful. And he does all the stuff he can do. He's good, very energetic. So he's worth the price of admission. So yeah, we need to get him back. Wrestle Larry Cooter. You think he'll do that again, or
I'm not sure yet.
Cooter may be wrestling Matt Starr.
No, Matt Starr is going to be wrestling for the heavyweight title.
Yay! Finally,
Sean Hoodrich.
We've been trying to get those guys to wrestle for this title, and one will be out for one reason or another. They're all good reasons they've been out, but
we should do an SWA. Well, at RWF, do an SWA throwback night.
We've had an awful lot of or quite a few of our wrestlers that do have SWA roots, one way or another.
Yeah.
If not actually, like Dewey Barnes, he grew up in SWA. He didn't wrestle very much in SWA.
He wrestled as White Tiger a few times.
Yeah, but then he moved on to Impact or TNA or something like that, and found his glory there. As his brother John Wayne
Murdoch,
who is also Damian Payne. matter of fact, he's legendary hardcore in independent wrestling. And then, of course, Big Papa, David Hodge, his dad was part of our announce team for what, 4 or 5 years, and part of AWF as well. So, yeah, anyway, Dewey had his roots there. That's why I think the lady that he demanded get out of that wheelchair and give him a seat or whatever, that lady was, I'm not saying her name because we've talked about it. She's all right with it. She wasn't upset. But she was back at SWA during that time. So he probably remembers her. Oh, that might have been a kayfabe alert. But anyway, I like Dewey Barnes. When he wrestled, who did he wrestle at Nate Starr. He did everything Nate Starr. He was great. He went back to his White Tiger days. We found out he could do more than just thumbtacks and
Of course, that was
guns.
2 shows ago. He
Two
wasn't
shows
there this past.
Yeah, 2 shows ago.
And this past show, Colt and Chris took on Nate Starr.
We talk so much with these young guys being so improved, like Landon and Drew. But I know Colton has wrestled maybe a little bit longer, a year or 2 longer than them. But Colton, Chris, with a T or P? T? Anyway, Colton, he has really come along. He's good. Fine, I'll say young man. We don't know how old he is because he wears a mask. I still think he might be jailbird. That means he'll be an old man.
No, I
Who
don't think he
knows?
is.
No, not big enough for jailbird.
But they had a great match. Nate Starr, and I mean, both of them did all their high flying maneuvers. And
2 shows ago, when he was in a 3-way dance with Nate and Austin Cruz for that chance at the title,
no, it wasn't Austin Cruz. Austin Cruz took on Xavier Michaels that night, won the title.
Well, who was it? There was a 3-way dance anyway. Maybe that's more shows ago. They were fabulous at that too. I really.
We had Drew Weatherby and Landon Bradley. You saw this match on the video right before we came on the air. You had Drew Weatherby and Landon Bradley take on Mike Cobb and JDV in a great match. You saw everybody get their finisher in right there at the end. But Drew Weatherby's finisher excelled over everyone else's as he got a pinfall win over Mike Cobb. Actually, I don't know what he calls it.
Excuse me, there's an update here. UT 77-62, and they just won in the March Madness.
But Drew Weatherby did the, like we said, the
Excuse me a moment.
what do we call the painkiller was what it was called when Damian Payne used to do that move. But he put that move on Mike Cobb, got the pinfall win, 1, 2, 3 right there in the ring, as Weatherby and Landon Bradley get a victory. Then our main event of the evening was Matt Starr versus LBK. We'll probably show that video next week, the match. Great match. If you was not there, and that was sort of a fans bring the weapons match because that was something that we had already set up for.
And that was a match that they didn't need any. Their bodies are weapons. It's just.
But they, Matt Starr did get the victory. It was for the number 1 contendership for the RWF heavyweight title. What are you doing, Rusty? What are you giving us a commercial? Are you giving us a
I'm
commercial?
trying to play Crazy Train.
Well, don't do that because we'll have to.
We got it all aboard there.
They might bleep our show. They'll take our audio.
Oh, there's
off.
so many reasons they should take our show. But anyway.
They might bleep you anyway.
Well, I tried, Cannon.
But Matt Starr got the victory, and then after you saw the footage afterwards as Larry Cooter came out and got Matt Starr to agree to a ladder match tomorrow night.
I don't know if he said yes or not. He sort of said, but sort of that's what it sounded like.
But it's
The Matt's not afraid of a ladder match.
I wish they started at 7. Kind of wish we'd have started at 8 last time.
Well,
boy, it was a rough. All the rain, trying to get everything set up.
We couldn't get in the building.
Couldn't get in the building. Got in the building
right
late, and we
time.
still started exactly right on time. And got all 8 matches. How many? We have 7 matches.
7 matches.
Got them all in before 10 o'clock.
It was a very good night.
RWF, great wrestling show, great concessions, Tim.
Oh yeah. Once again, I don't know when I look back over the card. We talked there at the show on air on one of the matches. You know, we had Wednesday night last week or Thursday night last week. We had a totally different show that we.
Oh yeah, we had a totally different card. We had to make some changes because of some people not having to work, or some people with the weather keeping them out. And some people with sicknesses.
We can understand and work with legitimate things because life happens. Just, you know, if you say you're going to be there, be there. And if you can't, let us know as soon as you can know. So you work with people. But,
oh, yeah. That's like Drew Barnes messaged me middle of the week. Hey, I've got to work this weekend. Not going to be able to be there. And I'm like, oh, that's all right. We got you covered.
Yeah. And Dewey,
referee Danny Hayes wasn't able to be there because there was tornadoes and his wife wasn't feeling very safe with the weather taking place, so he didn't want to leave her at home alone. And but like I said, even with what we had people missing, we still had a great show once again.
Yep. And you know, I'm trying not to say stuff.
You was going to say something about a quitter, but we're going to hold off on that.
If you don't want to be there, that's fine. If you do want to be there, and you really want to be there,
if you want to be a part of something special, then it's a place to be.
We try to make it our family, not just family atmosphere, but our family, RWF family. And you can, kayfabe alert here, you can end up working whoever you want to work and programs you want to work. They'll still be, our owners will put in suggestions and whatever, but you know, and thank you that you did that, because we get to keep Sharp Dressed Man James, who turned into King James. We get to keep him. He plans on.
He was one that missed this past Saturday because he got hurt.
Yeah, in a match somewhere Friday night. Yeah, LBK was telling me he didn't know exactly what happened. It's something, I think, about his face. I needed to call him and see.
Well, his shoulder was hurting him.
His shoulder?
Yeah, because when he messed me, he did something to his shoulder.
Well, he's had problems with that in the past too. But anyway, anyway.
Well, it is about time for us to go, Rusty. I think I've got everything. I've said everything I want to say.
So
I'm going to root for North Carolina to win the national championship, even though I picked Duke.
Well, I'm rooting for Tennessee, or if not Tennessee, get ready, folks. You're going to hate me for this. I'm not so sure Auburn's not going to make it.
They didn't look good today in the first half.
Did not.
Yeah.
But they looked so good, and I could cheer for them a whole lot sooner than I could Florida. The only thing good about Florida is their mascot, the Gators.
It is about time for us to go. So until next time, this is Tim Miner along with
Rusty the
If you get a chance to go to PWA Gladeville, Tennessee tomorrow night, the showtime starts begin at 8. Doors open at 7. Until next week, have a good night.